Hey everybody, it's Mick Levinskas here from Climate Salad. As you know, I'm constantly talking about the intersection of these two mega trends of climate and AI. And we're just getting an update from Armin at Evitat about how his business is going and how they're using AI here in Australia, but also in Germany. And I thought I would just hit record and share the conversation because it was getting really interesting. Give us a quick pitch about Evitat, and then let's dive into how you're using AI.
Of course. AI is providing a data platform and connecting sustainable building material manufacturing suppliers with building designers. And we empower actually building designers in the early stage of the design phase to make the right choices in terms of sustainability. We are tracking on our platform across four pillars. It is the carbon emission, and as well also human health, efficiency that includes energy and water, and climate resilience. And climate resilience pretty much fire resistant, termite resistant, and water resistant. Yes.
Wow. That's it's a lot to think about, right? I think that's the key is that some people think it's purely like, well, how complex can it be? It's only emissions or stored emissions. But I think once you actually start to think about the total environmental benefits and costs for something like building, you've got what you're throwing out. Like, because you might be renovating or doing a demolition. You've got how you design it. You've got how you if you're importing everything from somewhere overseas, are you using old growth forest? Are you how do you build it? How do you maintain it? I had this. We were renovating our deck, and they were like, "Well, there's this sustainable wood you can use, but you've got to oil it every 2 years." And it was like, well, the costs of actually maintaining it were going to be so high because it was a full sun deck that we used a recycled plastic product instead. But yeah, so tell us about that complexity and how the system's pulling in those different data sets.
Yeah, what we have a vetting process for the manufacturer. So before they come on board and they approve to be listed on our platform, they have to go those questionnaires. We are First of all, we are asking everything around the product. So if they can give us some evidence, that we can look into that, starting with EPDs. This is the Environmental Product Declaration documentation. We are looking into this in terms of evidence of, source, where is it coming from, and then as well also what sort of material, what sort of ingredients. That is something what we are then pulling out. And if this meets at least two of the criterias, so then that will be listed on our platform.
Right.
And then the second layer is a little bit about the company, really to understand, what's the responsibility of the business, what they are actually providing back to the community, because we just noticed that is from our users who are using our predominantly the building designers. They want also to understand, is this company giving back something to the community? And that is the second layer, what we are also adding in. But the mandatory is pretty much the product layer. Without any evidence and certification, it will be hard to look into that. So that means we're not allowing actually to list every product on our platform. So that sounds very strict, but we want really to avoid the greenwashing.
Yeah.
And there's a huge appetite from the professionals, designers, to have those evidence, and
Yeah.
we want to protect this very, very strong. Yeah.
Yeah. And in terms of like global data sets and lessons learned, but you've got obviously a whole ecosystem in Germany, and that's got, uh, and then you've got in Australia, and you've got massive global ambitions, of course. Do you manage between the sort of what when there's actually similarities and when there are differences? Because obviously might be local regulations or even local trends and product availability.
Yeah, so definitely. So the regulation here in Australia is definitely different than in Central Europe. We just started our first step into the German market this year. So we have set up the entity over there, and even with my background in, as a German, I'm learning a lot. And that's really interesting, actually, those learnings. What are the differentiation? As I said in the beginning, so in Central Europe or in Germany, the regulation is very strict in terms of how you have to, build something, or or renovation, and um, and that's something what we are starting. We are start learning at the moment. So we are cooperating at the moment with a few architects and PhD researcher over there to get that information into our platform. We're hoping that we can roll out the platform by end of 26 next year in Germany. So at the moment, there's a lot of learning. We speaking with consulting firms, sustainability consulting firms, will give us a little bit idea of what sort of energy ratings or what sort of programs are running in certain areas.
Yep.
And Germany is also, a country which is not really, it's actually also state by state, very different. It's similar
Yep.
like here in Australia with New South Wales, Victoria, and WA, and we're talking about 16 states in Germany. So
Oh,
yeah, there's a lot of learnings at the moment from our side as well.
yeah, I bet. And any thoughts around the environmental costs of AI? Are you offsetting that, or is there options of making that more environmentally friendly, or is that a bit more infrastructure based?
Wow, that's a really good question. To be honest, that's something what we are in the early stage talking about. Okay, we're looking in several models because we are testing at the moment a few AI layers on our platform, and um, and it is something what we are having in that discussion.
Yep.
Um, and hoping to get something what is really balancing. So that means the cost on one side, of course,
Yep.
as a startup, you need also to look into that, and the other side as well. Also, okay, what is the best approach, to offset that? So yeah, so we are definitely at the moment in that early stage. Discuss it with some expert in that field.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Well, I mean, thank you so much. I'm glad it's really going well. Keep up the great work, and we'll keep sharing updates.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Thank you.
sorry, we forgot that you've got an event coming up. Let's give that a plug too.
Oh,
Tell us about
yes.
the event. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the event is coming early August in Brunswick, and it calls Praise for Impact. I just have that here open.
Yeah, yeah,
And that is in the at the event venue of Hype in Albert Street. And we have three panel talks, panel groups talking about, yeah, here we go. You opened that
yeah,
already. Great.
yeah,
Talking about the design, build, disaster, spec meets tech. We have great panelists, Caroline Petkoff, for example.
yeah,
She's there, and Chris Cranium from the Building Designer Association of Australia. Jeremy Spencer, also a big thought leader from Sustainable Builders Alliance,
yeah.
and then also manufacturer that do great jobs like Darren Minton and Paul Adams from Mortis Architects. So we have
All
a
star
great
cast. Yeah,
people. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That sounds great. I mean,
yeah.
well, thanks for sharing that. We'll put a link in the show notes, and great to chat to you. And again, thanks for the update.
Thank you very much, Mick.